Shut up. I'm the head of the family, you have to put me first, no matter what. Bart's fever isn't a big deal. I couldn't believe what he just said. How could you say that? As a parent, you should care about your child more than anything else. Why can't you understand that? Then Bart said something shocking. The person who makes the money is the most important, so I should come first in this house. If you can't accept that, then leave. That was when I decided I had enough. Fine, I'll leave. Yeah, leave. You wouldn't survive without my salary anyway. My name is Rachel, and I'm 30 years old. I've been married to Bart for 5 years, and we have a 3-year-old son named David. We live together as a family of 3. At first, things were great with Bart, but lately, he's been acting arrogant, and it's really bothering me. I met Bart on a blind date, and I was instantly attracted to him. He worked for a good company and was always cheerful. He seemed to like me too, and we started dating right away. After a year, we got married. In the beginning, Bart was kind and caring. He even helped with housework, and he celebrated my birthday and our anniversary. But as time passed, he started treating me with disrespect. I tried to tell myself that things change over time in marriage, but he was getting too cold. Hey, why haven't you ironed my shirt? And when I wake up, my socks should be ready. It was hard for me to take care of David. You're not a child, you should get your own clothes ready. Huh? How dare you argue with your husband? I'm the one providing for you, so you should do as I say. Bart started acting like this after David was born, and I didn't want to get a divorce right away because of our son. But there's another problem. Bart doesn't contribute much to our family budget. He earns $2,500 a month but only gives me $500, saying it should be enough. He spends the rest of his salary on clothes, golf, and other things. It's not enough to cover everything, and we can't even save money for the future or pay for David's education. No matter how much I try to talk to him, he says, "I'm giving you enough money, use what I give you." I keep asking Bart to contribute more, but he won't listen, and we end up fighting. Meanwhile, he complains about how I do housework. It's impossible for a family of 3 to live on just $500 a month, so, to save money, I cook small portions or cheap meals with inexpensive ingredients. We end up eating the same thing a lot. But Bart complains about it, saying, "You're a useless wife who can't cook." Our relationship was falling apart, but I still put up with it until David turned 3. Then something happened that made me realize I couldn't take it anymore. One evening, David was unusually quiet. I thought he might be sick, so I checked his forehead and found he had a high fever. I took his temperature, and it was really high. I rushed him to the hospital, but it was already closed, so we went to the emergency room. There were a lot of people waiting, and it took a while to be seen by the doctor. I tried to comfort David while we waited, telling him, "We'll be called soon. Hang in there." Finally, the doctor saw us, gave David some medicine, and sent us home. I gave David something easy to eat, gave him medicine, and put him to bed while I cooled his forehead. I felt a bit better, but it was the highest fever he had ever had, so I was really worried and exhausted. Then I heard the sound of the key turning in the lock. Bart had come home. "I'm home. Welcome home. Where's my dinner?" "I'm sorry, I'll make it now." I was lying on the couch and was about to get up to go to the kitchen. "What do you mean? Are you kidding me? You think I'm an idiot?" "Sorry, but David had a high fever, so we went to the hospital. I haven't eaten either." I tried to explain calmly, but Bart wouldn't listen. "I don't care if you haven't eaten, just get my dinner ready." I couldn't believe he was acting like this when David was sick. "Shut up, I'm in charge here, you need to put me first. Bart's fever doesn't matter." I couldn't just ignore what he said. How could you say that? As a parent, you should care about your child first. Why can't you understand that? Normally, if your child has a high fever and goes to the hospital, you'd be worried about them. But Bart said something even worse. "The one who makes the money is the most important, so I come first in this house. If you can't accept that, then leave." Something inside me snapped. Up until now, I had hoped Bart would go back to being the kind man he was before, but now, I saw there was no hope left. He couldn't even put our child first, and he thought the one who makes more money was better. I couldn't deal with that mentality anymore. "Okay, I'll leave then." "Yeah, leave, you wouldn't survive without my salary anyway." "Then I'll just eat out tonight. You should go back to your parents' house and calm down." Bart left after saying that. Does he think I'm weak and can't do anything on my own? I'll show him what I'm capable of. I started packing while Bart was gone. David still had a fever, so I waited until he felt better. Once David was asleep, I was ready to leave anytime. The next morning, when David's fever had gone down, I went to check on him. He was still sleeping. After wiping off his sweat and dressing him, I went to the kitchen for breakfast. That's when I ran into Bart, who was leaving for work. When he saw me, he smirked. "What, you haven't left yet?" "I can't leave until David's better." "You really can't leave, can you? You're just a stay-at-home wife. You'll never make it." He laughed and left for work. He made me even angrier. How did he become such a terrible person? When we were dating and at the beginning of our marriage, he was at least a little kinder and more thoughtful. While I was thinking about this, my son woke up. "Mom, I'm hungry. Are you feeling better now?" "Yeah, much better." After breakfast, David was feeling much better, so I decided to leave with him today. I called my parents to come pick us up, and we packed our things. By mid-afternoon, we were at my parents' house. As soon as I stepped into their house, I felt completely drained. I almost fainted from exhaustion. My parents were really worried. "Are you okay, Rachel?" "Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I've been trying so hard to protect us. I didn't realize how much it was taking out of me." "Wow, Bart must have really pushed you a lot." "Yeah, it was more than just emotional abuse." Both of my parents were shocked when they heard how bad things had gotten with Bart. "Grandpa, let's play together." "Okay, let's play. Can we go buy some snacks?" "Snacks? Yes, I want some too." Dad took David out to give me some rest. "You should lie down and rest," Mom said, giving me some blankets. I thanked her and lay down, falling asleep right away. A few hours later, I woke up to the smell of something delicious cooking. It was already evening, and my mom was making dinner. When I went to the dining table, I saw a colorful spread of delicious-looking food. David was so excited, saying, "It looks yummy." My mom's cooking always made me feel better, and it filled me with a deep sense of comfort. "You can stay here as long as you need to heal from all the stress." It felt like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders hearing my parents say that. 2 weeks flew by as I relaxed and recovered. Then, one day, someone came to my parents' house. It was Bart. Dad asked, "What do you want to do?" as he looked at the intercom. "I don't want to see him yet," I said. Dad nodded. "Okay, go to the back," and he handled Bart himself. Bart insisted on seeing me, but Dad refused to let him in. After a while, Bart gave up and left. From what I heard later, Bart didn't come to apologize. He never mentioned anything about saying sorry. I knew he was probably just struggling with the housework, realizing how messy everything was without me, but that's not my problem anymore. I hope he understands how hard housework is. He used to help, so he just had to remember how he did it, but I guess he forgot because he wasn't used to doing it. While staying at my parents' house, I blocked Bart's number, so the only way he could reach me was by coming to my parents' house. I didn't go back to him and stayed there with David. Bart came by a few times, but each time, Dad sent him away. A month passed, and Bart was at his limit. He begged, "Please let me see Rachel," bowing to my father. I thought it was time to see him, so I asked Dad to let Bart come in to talk to me. My mom took David to the back room to wait. When I saw Bart, I was shocked. He looked awful. His hair was messy, and his clothes were dirty and wrinkled. He had come straight from work, but his suit looked like he had slept in it. "Hey, Rachel, you've had enough now, right? Just come home." That was the first thing he said when he saw me after a long time. In that moment, all my hope vanished, and I felt like a cold wall was growing between us. I need to get away from him as soon as I can. I don't know what you're thinking, but if you're not going to say anything, my house is a mess, and I don't know what to do. As my wife, you should do your duty, Bart said, even though my father was right there. My dad looked shocked, because Bart was repeating everything I had told him about how he treated me. "Is that all you have to say? Normally, you should be apologizing," my dad said. "Huh?" Bart looked confused. "Why should I apologize? You're the one who left me, and you're not doing any housework. I came all the way here after you did something selfish." Is he for real? I can't save him anymore. If you really think like that, then there's nothing more to talk about. Let's divorce. I took out the divorce papers I had prepared when I came to my parents' house and handed them to him. "Huh? Divorce? Why are you saying this all of a sudden?" "All of a sudden? Are you kidding me? Do you have any idea how much you've hurt and tormented me?" "Honestly, I should have asked for a divorce a long time ago. You make me do everything you don't want to do, and you don't even help me with raising our child. You only put a little money into our family budget. There's no way we can live on just $500 a month. How can you not understand that? You only care about yourself, don't you? Bart looked stunned, not expecting me to be this angry. But you've been getting by with the money I've given you, and your meals have been decent lately. Did you think I wasn't doing anything? I'm working from home now, because the money you give isn't enough. Huh, really? I knew I couldn't give David a better life if I didn't do something, so I started looking for a remote job. I found one as an English teacher. I had lived in the US when I was younger, and I spoke English fluently. I had attended international schools and studied English literature at university, so I was well qualified. I began teaching right away, and I thought of creative ways to make learning English fun for my students. As a result, I started studying Western movies and music, and decided to create my own teaching materials by gathering phrases that could be used in everyday situations. Many people who want to learn English love Western movies and music, so I adjusted the movies and artists I used based on each student's preferences. This worked really well for my students, and many of them started asking me for help. Because of that, I'm now making a decent amount of money. I had no idea. How much are you making? About $4,000 a month. What, that much? So, I make more than you now, and I don't need to live with you anymore. Bart was completely shocked. He couldn't believe that his wife, whom he thought was beneath him, was earning more than he was. Why am I so miserable? What do you mean, all of a sudden? My coworkers are getting promoted before me, and now my juniors are moving ahead of me too. They all think I'm an idiot, and to top it off, you're even making more money than me. I sighed deeply. So what? Huh? It doesn't matter if your salary is lower or higher than other people's. What matters is whether you and your family are happy. For David and me, it doesn't matter if you're not getting promoted. What's important is that you make time for your family and provide for them. Don't you think so? I don't want you hurting me just to protect your fragile pride. Shut up. A man has to fight his battles and not lose. At that moment, my dad, who had been silent until then, spoke up. So, you're trying to boost your self-esteem by taking out your work stress on my daughter, spending money on your hobbies and clothes to feel better, and ignoring your family? Bart looked uncomfortable hearing my dad's words. As I told my daughter, the most important thing for a husband and father is to be the strong pillar of the family, supporting them financially, but you only think of yourself. I can't trust a man like that with my precious daughter and grandchild anymore. Now, sign the divorce papers and leave. My dad was furious. He had tried to stay calm in front of me, but he had reached his limit. Bart signed the divorce papers, trembling from my dad's anger. After Bart said, "Oh, I'm sorry," he quickly left. And that's how Bart and I ended our marriage so quickly. Later, I heard from a mutual friend that Bart was saying, "I dumped my wife because she was a useless, lousy wife." But at work, everyone already knew how Bart was, so they just ignored him. No one would want him as a boss, so he stayed in the same position for years without a promotion. One day, a new employee asked him, "What? You're a mid-career employee and haven't been promoted at your age? Are you a new graduate who just joined? You can't even do your job, huh?" The employee made fun of him, and Bart left work early, embarrassed. Apparently, once you're an adult, a twisted personality is hard to change. I decided that I would raise David carefully, hoping he would grow up to be an honest and kind person, using Bart as a bad example. Now, David smiles at me with such a sweet and carefree smile, and I know he will never turn into someone like Bart. To protect that smile, I will keep working hard every day. Bart is a foolish man who destroys others' happiness just to protect his own fragile pride, but I'm glad Rachel and David got out of that situation quickly. With the money Rachel's making, I'm sure she can manage as a single mother. I hope Rachel and her beautiful son continue to live a happy life. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.